Okay, and we are live. I see that there is one person watching. Where are you from? One person who's watching. I have a live chat up in another window over here, so I can talk in the live chat, which is here. So if you want to chat there, just let me know. Okie doke. Today we're going to be doing some programming. I'm not too sure what to program yet, so you guys are going to have to give me ideas. One person who's here so far would love an idea. If you have an idea of what you want to see me program in Python, just let me know. Because I can start anytime now. Maybe I'll just do something to warm up. I'll make a, let's make something that writes to a file. Let's do this. Okay. File write. Okay. So we'll just make like a little project to get us started, and then as more people come, we can get better ideas. Let's just do this really quick. Warm up. Okay. So we'll make a function up here. Let's say from random import randint, and then we'll say from def write. We'll call it write n, like this, and it'll take the argument n, and then a file name. And so in the doc string we'll write writes n random numbers called file name, like this. Can you hear me? I'm not sure if you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know somehow, because I'm not too sure that you can hear me. But let's keep going and just assume that you can. Type n is going to be a integer, because we want to know, oh, someone said hello, so you can hear me. Awesome, thank you so much. How are you doing, SJ Gaming? So what we're going to do now is we are going to make our next type, which is going to be a file name, and that's going to be a string. And then the R type, or whatever gets returned, is just going to be none. Because why would we want it to return anything? We just want it to write to the file. So we'll say for with open file name in write mode, but this is like wipe write mode. And then we'll say as f, that's what we'll call it, and then we'll say for every time in range n, we're going to f.write the string of a randint from 0 to 1. Give me a number that is pretty big. Just give me some kind of number. Oh, we've got another person watching. How are you doing? What's going on? Let me know where you guys are from as well. I need some kind of number, so give me like a big number if you guys want. For now, I'm thinking like somewhere in the tens of thousands. There we go. That works. 3,745. You're from St. Louis. Awesome. So I'm actually I'm from the States. I'm from New England. But as of now, I live in Canada. For now. We'll see where I live after that. It's pretty nice up here. I'm going to school. So okay, so f.write string random 0 to 3,745. And then after that we'll, and we have to do this as well. Plus backslash n like this. And then we're going to do f.close after the loop. So what this pretty much does is a super simple function. It opens the file called file name in write mode, but W is a special write mode. It writes over the file, so it deletes the file that used to be in that file name and then writes over it. It opens that as something called f as a variable, and then this just means for each time in the range n. So in other words, this is do this n times. F.write and then a random number between 0 and 3,745, and then it makes a new line. So it'll add it on a new line. And then f.close. Let's try it by saying write n, we'll call it randoms.txt, and we'll say, what's going on? Oh, and then we need to do, before the file name, we need to put the integer. Let's do 100 random numbers between, actually first let's do 10 just so we can see it easy, and then we'll do them. We got a third person here as well. How are you, third person? I know that one of you is from St. Louis. SJ Gaming's from St. Louis. You guys can talk to me at the live chat at any point that you want, which is below the video, I believe, and I can talk to you through there. Okie doke. So right now we're going to test this out, and here we go. So it ran. It says that there were no errors, and then we have this new file over here called randoms, and if you open it up, there's 10 random numbers between 0 and 3,745. So we can do this with 1,000, and it does it in just about the same speed. And if we open it up, now there are 1,000 numbers between 3,745. Tons of numbers. You can use that for all sorts of stuff. It's just a nice warm-up to be able to write files. But now that we've done that, do you guys have any ideas of what you want me to program next? Do you have any ideas? Let me know, because I am so down to program one of your ideas. Last time that we were here on March 3rd, we made this, which was a tic-tac-toe game. So let's see if I can run this so you can see what we made last time. So yeah, see, so it's player one's turn, so you enter a row, so we'll do like 1 and column 1. Then you can see it puts your player there, and then like the next person will go to 2, 1, 0. This person will go 1, 2, and then yeah, so you get the idea, and then someone can win. Do you guys have any other programming ideas that you want me to do right now? Because I am down for whatever. This is just time that you guys can give me ideas on what you want to see me program, and I can try my best to do it. And then, oh, hey, we have another third person. How are you doing? So yeah, you guys can give me ideas on what you want me to program, and I'll do that for you right now, so you guys can see kind of like, your ideas come to life. So we'll see if you guys come up with anything. Until then, I'll just work in the other file. I'll work here. We can do more stuff to this this function here until, okay, make a maze that changes every 5 seconds, but the end stays the same. Oh, make a maze. Okay, I like the idea of making a maze. We just have to Okay, this is going to be challenging, but let's do it. What the hell? New directory. We'll call it maze. Maze gen. Okay, so we'll make a new file in maze gen called main. Here we go. And okay, so we'll start this off with the generates a maze. Okay, so we'll start off with generating a maze, and then we'll move into the more advanced stuff. So let me get I actually have this recipe. I have a recipe for Pygame, kind of like. Let's see. I'm trying to see where I can find it. I have the okay, here, let's do this. I have it in an old file, so we'll get that old file up. Hi, second person, how are you doing? Okay, so we'll go to open recent. Let's grab one that I have. This one probably has Pygames. Open in new window. Pygame. This is sound generation. Open. Oh, this one, it has Pygame. Okay. So we'll grab this stuff, and then I will start that up ASAP. So for those of you who weren't here before, we're making a maze generator. So from Pygame import all. And this just imports the Pygame library. I'm going to copy and paste this code in, but then I'm going to get rid of, we'll put this to 20. And then we got to get rid of all this stuff. But I'm going to keep, if I see anything about a rectangle, I'm going to keep that rectangle because I need to know that code. Coins and coins. Okay, back update, sprite.update. Don't care about this. Don't care about this. And let's get rid of that. And okay. And we can get rid of this. Okay. There we go. So this is what we're starting with. I can get rid of all these character images. And I can get rid of this stuff. Obstacles is list. I can get rid of all this. Counter, coins, obstacles, score. Okay, this is all I need, I think. I can get rid of this as well, actually. There we go. So this is our basic thing. We got to set the height of the window, so we'll do 900. I think we can do that. We'll do 900 by 900, if that's okay. Or so we'll do something square. So we'll do like, I don't know. What do you guys think? We should do 40 times. Okay, we'll do like a 900 by 900. Sorry, that's up here. Okay, perfect. So right now, so we're gonna have, how much time will this take? Probably like, I want to say 45 minutes, maybe less. Yeah, and again, like if you have to go, don't worry about it. Thanks for the idea, though. It's just it's gonna take a while just because I've never done this before, and these live streams, they usually take a little bit because it's stuff that I haven't prepared previously, so I've never done it before. I'm just like doing it on the spot, thinking about what to do. So yeah, we'll see how fast it goes. But right now, this is what it pretty much does. So if I start this up now, oh, sorry, I'm running tic-tac-toe. Okay, so this, if I run this, it should, Pygame is not defined, of course. Maybe import Pygame. There we go. There we go. So this is going to be where the maze gets generated. Instead of doing 30 by 30, we're going to try 25 times 25. So we'll do 625 times 625. There we go. And we'll call this maze. Maze generator. There we go. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is we have to populate the grid, because all you can see, so right now this is what it looks like, and we have to populate it with squares. So yep, sure, I'll see you around then. So okay, let's see. Okay, where to start? So for I in range 0 to 625, or we can do, yeah, we'll do, okay, 625 by 25, like this. Print I, just so I can see that this is working. So let's do this. Okay, so it works perfectly. It prints all the ones I need. So we'll do that, and then we'll say for I2 in range 0 to 625 by 25. Okay, what it's going to do now, we'll say print a tuple with I and I2, like this. So this should be all of our points. So I'll get rid of this now. And this should be all of the points that we need. Those are going to be our squares on the grid. So let me just take this now, and I will find a way to store them. So we'll do a list called squares, and squares is going to equal, okay, so squares is a list, and then we'll do squares dot append the tuple, I2, like that. And so that'll be our point. Now I'm just going to quickly look up, hi people that are here who I think are new. We have 2 people watching right now. If you guys want to let me know where you guys are from, just talk to me in the live chat over here, like right here. And I will talk to you guys here if you have any questions. Right now we're making a maze generator. I've never done this before, so we're kind of, trial and error right now, but it's going pretty well. right now so far we made the window, so it looks like this, and all the squares are going to go in here for the maze. And right now we have the list of points where the squares are going to be. I just have to remember how to make a rectangle. Okay, so let's see. I just have to see you draw like this. Pygame draw rect. There we go. This is the one. Pygame draw rect, and okie doke. So we'll say Pygame dot. Okay, here we go. So now we'll do surface will be screen, because that's what our surface is called. The color is going to be like this. It's a tuple like this with 255, 255, 255, so they'll all be white. This one, I have to remember how to do this parameter, but we're going to do width of 1 for the lines, so we can see some kind of line. And the rectangle object like this is a tuple as well, and I think it's width height. We'll try 25, 25, 0, 0. No, you know what? I remember it. It's 25, 25, and then okay, so 4 point in squares. This, and then this has to be point. Come on. This is point 0, and this other one is point 1, I believe. Draw rect like this. There we go. So this should work. It does not work. Takes no keyword arguments. Okay, so we got to get rid of width like this. Let's try this. Okay, so that's a good start. So we figured out so far that it's drawing the squares, but for some reason it's drawing them over here. So maybe we have to see, we have one drawn at 0, 0. Oh, but they're starting at, okay, so here we go. We'll try to fix this in another way. Okay, so we'll say draw rect. Okay, BTT, and then those are the points over there. TT, okay. So that's the location and that's the size. So I just switched them around like this. 25, 25, like that. Maybe this will work. Perfect, there we go. Okay, nice. So those are gonna be all our squares. And now you can actually see that for some of them, I can even do this. For each one of the times I do this, I'll also append another thing where I'll append a list, just so you can see, a list with this, and then we'll do random colors. From random import randint, and from random import randint will allow us to do this. For each one, we're going to do randint 0 to 255. We're going to take this and do it 3 times. And that's going to be the color. So now it's going to be 0.00 and 0.01, like that. And then instead of this, we're going to put color. And so you'll see now that it's drawing all these random colors, like, oh, sorry, 0.1, like this. Sorry about that. Now it should work. There we go. So as you can see, it draws all these random colors, and it actually looks really nice. Oh, hey, we have 2 people here right now. If you guys want to talk to me in the live chat, you can talk to me in the live chat, which is should be down at the bottom of your video. And you can tell me about where you're from, or what you want to see me do later in the stream. Right now we're doing a maze generator, or we're trying at least. Right now we've made the screen and we've gotten all our squares to look kind of nice like this. So now I'm going to try and make the logic for making a line through it. So this isn't going to be like a complicated maze generator, but it might. We'll see how it works. Okay, so right now we have the points, and we have to find a way to go through all the points and make a decision on which ones to add to the maze. So we'll do this outside the actual display loop. So now we got to go through all the points, and we'll say, okay, so starting equals, we'll say, okay, so a starting point is going to equal the point in squares, which is not the first point, but the second point. Okay, so the second point is going to be this one. And maybe to see that, we should say that squares 2, or sorry, squares 1 should be the, we'll do 2. Squares 2, 1 is going to equal a new tuple, which is going to be 0, 0, 0. So this should make the starting square black. That's this one right here, I believe. Let's just run that one more time to see if I'm correct. Yes, so that's going to be our start, okay? So the next thing that it'll do is we're going to go through the rest of the points, and we have to pick the points that are adjacent to this point. We have to look to decide, okay, do we want to do these guys? So what we'll say is we'll have a list. We'll have a new list here called maze, and we'll have another list called not maze. No, we'll just keep it as squares. So right now, in the list that we're calling maze, we'll say starting square. Okay, here, hold on. For See, this is the challenging part about maze generation algorithms, is that you have to find a nice way to go through the list of squares that we have and decide to, okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll say we have to make a function called next square, which takes in 2 lists. It's going to take in all squares and maze squares, like this. And we'll say for this one, returns the next square to be added. Okay, so here we'll say that the type of all squares is equal to a list, and the type of maze squares is also a list, and the R type let's see, where's it? R type is a tuple, like that. Okay, so we'll give that the space so it doesn't get mad at us, and we'll say, okay, what it'll do is it'll say, okay, sorry, we have all squares, we have maze squares, and we'll take in a square called current square. And let me just add that here, type of current equals a tuple. Okay, so it'll take in a square, it'll see if it's in the list of squares, and it'll decide which one to pick next. So now what I have to do is I have to fix up here what we were saying about this random integer stuff. We gotta take this out so it's just a tuple of the square. Here you go. So these are all going to be white again. So we'll say actually, yeah, let's say color. No, we'll just make them all white, which is 255, 255, 255, like this. Hi to people that are watching. If you want to talk in the chat, I know you might be the same people that have been here before, but if you want to talk in the chat, just jump in the live chat, and we can chat there, so I can see what you guys are saying. I can't really see anything that you're saying otherwise. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to make the function that chooses the next square in our maze generator. So we start off with the first square, and right now what we have so far is this nice little, oh sorry, hold on, pass, because we haven't written that function yet, it's not going to be happy. Tuple object does not support item assignment. Well, where is that? Oh, sorry. There we go. So int is not subscriptable. Where is int? My bad. Like this. Thank you. There we go. Okay, so now it's working. So this is our maze generator area. And in here, you can't see them, but this is all white squares. And we're starting here, and we're going to make it go through the maze and find a way to get to the other side. So here's what we'll do. We'll say, because of this, up here we have this function we're starting to write. So we start off with our first one, and we're going to say that we need to get the adjacents. So we'll say adjacents equals, and these are the possible adjacents. We'll call that possible adjacents. And the possible adjacents are all the points that could be around the point that we have. And the way that works is, if we have a point that's xy, right, like this, and each one is at like a 25 interval, then we can have a certain amount of points. So we can have the point, we can have 4 adjacent points. Okay? Say that we get current 0 and current, that's x, and then current 1. This is current y. Okay, so this is the x and the y coordinate, right? So we have, this is our current point that we're working with, and we need to find the adjacent points based on that logic. We know the first x and the first y, and we need to find the ones next to it. And so the way we're going to do that is we are going to, let me just quickly answer this on my phone. I'll go check this out. So right now we're going to find the logic based on what is going on with these points. So current 0 is x, so the first point we can have is a point that's to the left, which is going to be x plus 25. The next thing we can have is an x that's to the right, so we can have minus 25. The next thing we can have is one that's above, so plus 25. Actually, that's minus 25, so we'll do the one that's below is plus 25, and the one that's above is minus 25, like that. And let me just put that correctly so that it doesn't get upset with us. There we go. So that's going to give the possible adjacents. Then we're going to have another list where we say this list is going to be called adjacent, and it's going to be a list. And we're going to say for point in possible adjacents if point is in in maze, or not point not in squares. Because we have maze squares, and then we're going to say all squares. So like that. So if the point is in maze squares, or the point is not in all squares, then continue. Else, we'll do adjacents dot append. Let's just change this to square, and that means we have to change it here as well. Like that. Perfect. I see there are 3 people watching. If you guys want to pop into the live chat and say anything, I'm looking at that every once in a while. So okay, so adjacents.append square, like that. And so what this is going to do when we run it is it's going to say, okay, the possible points that we can use are the ones that are in. Okay, we have all these possible squares we can use. We also have the ones we've already looked at for our maze. And then we have the current one that we're on. This function says, okay, here's all the possible points we could get to from our point to the right, left, up, and down. And then it checks and says, okay, but which ones are actually ones that we haven't used and ones that we can actually go to on the grid. And that's where adjacents comes in. So what we'll do now is from here, we'll also say that we don't want it after it goes. We're going to have 2 squares actually. The starting is going to be squares 2, and so the maze is not just going to be an empty list. The maze is going to have starting, and the maze is also going to have starting like this. We got to do the point, which is at, let's see, when we run this, starting is like here, 1, 2, 3 down. So it's at, this is at 0, 0, this is at 25y, and then this is at 50y. So it's 50y, but it's 1 over, so it's 2550 like this, 2550, I believe. So I think that's it. And just to be safe, down here we can actually do that. We can say this. We can say draw all those points, and then below that, if we want to see the 2 points we're working with for our start, we'll do this. We'll say starting like that, and starting like that, and then we'll say this one we have to put at where we kind of like pushed it in. We just kind of like made up a value, so 25 and 50. Let's see if that works. Oh, I'm not going to be able to see anything unless I do this. 0, 0, 0, and then 0, 0, 0. So this is going to make them black. There we go, perfect. So that's actually going to be our starting point where we start. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to say also don't, unless it's one certain square on the other side, don't add it to the possible adjacents. And you'll see how that works in a second. I'll pick a couple that are down the other side, and we'll use those as like possible squares that we can go on. Here, let me find that right now. Okay, so we say we add those to the adjacents. I'll say elif square if square 0 is less than 25, we don't want to look at it. 25 or square, actually let's say we don't want it to be less than 25 or greater than a certain, so we'll say 25 is less than square 0, which is less than 650, or sorry, 600, like that, because I think our thing, yeah, 625. That is going to be one condition, or square 1 is, let's see, we don't want square 1 to be, we don't want it to go to the top, we want it to go to maybe the bottom. So we'll say, or square 1 is less than, let's say less than 0.25. Yeah, there we go. We'll continue still. So if this is, it's not going to put it at any y, it's not going to put it in this area. So right now, this can only connect, it can't connect here or here or here, it has to connect somewhere down here. So we'll see if this works. So now, oh hi, how are you doing, Boyan? It's been a while. We're programming right now a maze generator in Pygame. And I'm going to save all of this code. I don't know if there's any way that I can actually get you guys the code unless you contact me through Facebook or something and I send it to you. But this is what we have so far. So right now, this is our window. It's going to be squares that are 25 pixels each. This is our start right here, and we're going to start from here, and then it's going to connect somewhere here on the bottom. Okay, so now we do possible adjacents like this, and we say, okay, the next thing we do in our function here is we say, I'm going to import from random, I'm going to import shuffle as well. So I'm going to say, let's do, let's pull this up and do Python, and we're going to do shuffle from random. If we make a list in Python, like p equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, and then we do p dot shuffle. Oh wait, sorry, it's shuffle p, like this. And then we print p, it shuffles p, right? So we'll do, because it actually mutates the list, it shuffles p. So we're gonna do shuffle p, or shuffle adjacents, and then return adjacents 0. And that's going to be our next square. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do this. In our while loop, or sorry, not in the while loop, here we'll say this, while okay, we're going to say found maze done equals false, while not maze done, like that. We're going to keep running this over and over again. So we're going to say next square, okay, maze dot maze squares, or maze dot append, and then we have to get the next square, which needs all squares, maze squares, and current, which needs all squares, like that. Oh, which we just called squares. Then we need maze squares, which is just maze. And then we need the current, which in this case is maze maze 1, I think, is what we have it at right now. Like that. So yeah, via Messenger, if you message me on Facebook, I will, actually here, let me pull that up over here. I have, so yeah, so if you message me through the Facebook page on Messenger, I can send you the code. Right now, actually, our Facebook page, I think, just is now passing 3,600 likes, which is so great. I'm so excited about that. And I know that there's only like 3 people watching. Yeah, 3 people are watching right now. But for you 3 people that are watching, there's a really special video that I'm putting out in a few days, which is going to be the 4-year anniversary of synthetic programming, and I'm doing a cool giveaway. So if you guys are into giveaways or stuff like that, tune in within the next like week or so, and there'll be a video out, and at the end of the video, I think I'm going to do a giveaway of some cool stuff that I had made. Okay. So what it's going to do is, while the maze is not done, the maze is going to append the next square, which it uses the squares, the maze, and the maze 1 to figure out first. And actually, we can't do that. We're going to say current square is going to be here, or current square equals maze 1. Like that. That's going to be the first one, and then let's go to here. Okay, so the first square is going to be maze 1, so we'll do current square is what I want, like this. And then after that, do we need another one of these? And then after this, we're going to set, let's actually grab this value right out of here and say, while not maze done, next equals this. So the next equals the next square. Next one. And then we're going to append the next one. And now the current square is actually going to equal the next one, like that. And then if for square in maze, if square, I gotta correct this spelling issue if it's gonna work. For square in maze, if the square 1 is equal to 600, then maze done equals true. And then else continue. There we go. So now I think what we got to do is we got to say after it generates that maze, then in here we're gonna say, oh, we have another person watching. Hey guys, what's going on? For those of you who weren't here before, we are programming a maze generator, and we've just finished the main part. So this is actually kind of what it looks like right now. A lot of this stuff is just initiating Pygame up here, but then we have this stuff down here. So we have a list of squares, which is all the possible squares we can go to. Then we have a start, and the start is right here. Then we decided that the maze includes the starting point and this other point right here. Then we have a function called next square, which figures out how to get the next square. And then what we're doing down here is we're actually generating the maze by going through and picking the next square. And I hope this works. We might get some errors because I haven't run it yet, but we're going to run it right now in a second and try. So the next thing, if we're going to see this at all, then we got to do this. For point in maze, Pygame, we got to copy this whole thing like this, and we're going to change this to 0, 0, 0, like that. So hopefully this works. We're going to try it right now in 3, 2, 1. Okay, and here's the issue. So we get, okay, next one equals next square, squares, maze, current square. Okay, and then return adjacent 0, but unfortunately there weren't any adjacents. So we're going to try this. We're going to go up to where it generates the maze, which is up here. And whenever it can't do it again, so this happened in next one. That happened in next one. And so in next one, we're going to tab this in. We're going to say try this. Okay, yeah, so try this, and then accept index error like that. Then we're going to have to set, we're forced to set maze done to true and just see what we got so far. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so you can see what's happening here is it's doing the adjacents that are up here, like that. What it should be doing is it shouldn't be actually getting these squares because it starts here, and the problem with that is that we can't begin here. So we have to add another point that's right after this one, which is at 25, I guess 25, sorry, it's not, it's at 50, 50, like this. And then this is going to be 2. Let's try that. Next one is not defined. Where is next one not defined? There we go. I wonder why that happened. That was really weird. The stream just stopped for a moment, guys, but it's back up now. And so we're looking at our maze generator, and for some reason, it's really weird. Next one is having an issue. And the reason it's having an issue, I think, is because, oh, this is why. Because we don't want this to be, okay, we want it like this. Square is less than 25. Boom. Nope, that's not it. We don't want square to be less than 25. We want it to be greater than 25, so that's fine. And then we want this to be true. We don't want this to be true. We don't want this to be true, or square 0 like this. We don't want square 0 to be greater than 600. There we go. Okay, hopefully that fixes it. Okay, that's a lot better. That's a little better. It did something crazy like this, but we don't want it, for some reason it is touching squares that are in maze, that are adjacent, that are already in maze. So we have to figure out how to fix that as well, but we're getting a little bit farther. I think I'm gonna try at this for like another 20 minutes or so, and then if I don't get it in 20 minutes, then we're gonna have to move on from that. So here's what we'll do. We'll get rid of this so far, and we'll see. Okay, so if the square is in maze squares, then we don't want to do it. Okay, so that makes sense. We can actually get rid of this as well. This whole thing doesn't matter. So if it's in maze squares, then we don't want to put it in the possible adjacents. The problem is that you can see is that when we run this, see, this one looks even better. It doesn't know. So say it goes here, and then when it looks in this one, when it looks at this point, it shouldn't add either of these points because it knows that they're like off limits. So I think we have to figure out why is it not checking? Possible adjacents. So possible adjacents is plus 25, minus 25, plus 25, minus 25. We have a third person in the stream. If you want to talk to us in the live chat, please hop on in. Oh yeah, how are you doing? How are you doing, SJ? This is how far we've gotten. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do the end of this. So I'm deciding whether or not I'm able to tackle this one today, because it might take a little too long. But here's what we've got so far. So far with this code, we click this and it generates. Okay, where is this? Let me just fix that real quick. Here we go, like that. So if I run this, so you can see how it generates a little something, but it doesn't generate an entire maze. So we're working really hard at that part. But right now it randomly generates these like little talon looking things. I'm trying to think of a way to make it stop. What it's doing right now is it's finding ways to like go back on itself, but it's not. It does know to stop. I'm trying to think of maybe instead of drawing a rectangle, maybe I should draw a point to see where it's like colliding with itself. I'm sure that it could find a way to do this. I'm trying to think of a way that I can fix next square. So if the square is in the maze squares, then continue. Because we don't want to go to the ones. And then, okay, you know what? Let's add another group to this. Like this. And let's change these to 50 and see if that works. 50, 50, 50, 50. Let's see what this does. Okay, so this one does jumps. And we don't really want jumps. So yeah, this might be a little too much to tackle in this amount of time. But I can try figuring out how to do this, and then I'll make a video about it at some point in the future. This is a little bit of a tall task right now to do, just because I'm not too sure how to do this. But what I can do is do this and make it pretty really quick before I move on to another project. 0 to 55, like that, and then let's grab this whole tuple, whole thing, and throw it here. And now it looks like this. So yeah, this is what I can do. But yeah, I tried my best. I'm gonna have to look up some other documentation and stuff to figure out why it's working the way it was. But this is like a pretty way to end this idea. I'm gonna program one more thing. If you guys have like if you have another idea that I can try, that's maybe a little less intensive than this one, then we can try that one. But this trippy looking color field is actually pretty dope. Do you have any other ideas? Anybody who's on the stream right now? Yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. An emoji. Like like an emoji on this, like on the yeah, we could. The only problem with that is that it would be very like if we did an emoji, then we'd have to like program every single individual color pixel, which I don't think would be the most fun for you to watch me do, because I would just have to. So let's see. I'm trying to think of another thing that we could program that maybe has to do something with this. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm glad to know. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. Okay, so and also remember that I can't speak to you right away. Like I can't reply right away. So every time you type something, it takes a little bit of time for my voice to get back to you. So like when you type it, I see it immediately, but then when I speak, you see it like at a lag of like a few seconds. So yeah, that's why my replies are coming a little bit later. It's not that I'm not looking at the chat. I'm trying to think of another thing that we can program right now to kind of like finish us up for this stream, but I'm kind of at a loss for, you know what we could do? We could do a modification on this where instead of printing these random colors for this, let's turn this back to 0, 0, 0, like that, and try this. Okay. This kind of looks like its own language if you think about it, doesn't it? Yeah, stream delay. Oh, what do you stream? What do you stream when, or like, is this some kind of gaming thing? I'm just assuming because of your name. These kind of look dope. I'm just looking at all these different things. Yeah, what kind of games do you play? I've just been starting to play Rust. I like that a lot. I don't really make any gaming videos anymore, but I play Rust and it's super fun. This looks dope. Okay, well this is an interesting little thing. Let's just do one more today. The one more thing that we're going to do, we'll make a directory for this new one, and we'll call it, it could actually be used as a fake virus. I think somebody would definitely be tricked by that. You have, the problem with this one is you have to get them to download Pygame for this to work. They have to have all the libraries. So we're going to make a new thing. You know what though? We could make a virus. That's what we're going to do right now. Let's do this. Okay, so virus. Let's make a fake virus just to trick with people. So what I'm going to do now is make the Python file main, and this will run on any computer. Okay, so this virus is going to run on any computer. So for those of you who are watching, we're going to make a fake virus, and let's do this right now. So virus. So the first thing that it's going to do is it's going to say, we're going to print okay, so we'll start off by saying virus detected, press any key to remove. The next thing we're going to do here, first we'll print one of these. Like that, virus detected, press any key to remove. And then we got to turn on sleep. So from time import sleep. So now what we'll say is we'll say virus detected, press any key to remove. Print. Sorry, we're going to sleep now. We're going to say input like this, so someone will have the chance to input a little something. Let's actually flip this into here. And then we can get rid of this. And then so after this, let's say print and then print another preparing to remove virus like this. Let's see. Can I moderate now? It says take a break, then I can send a message. Sorry, on what? Oh, I can't give you mod or anything like that, or like I'm not too sure how to do that. Let's see. I'll do this quickly, and then by the time I'm done programming up this thing, you can probably respond, and then that'll be our stream for the day. So now I'm gonna sleep for like 2 seconds, and then I'm gonna print. Okay. Failed to remove bootstrap GNU. I don't know. I'm just typing random things. Sleep for 1. And now we're going to get into the crazy stuff. Okay, so that's going to be our nice little thing at the beginning. It's going to say virus detected, press any key to remove, preparing to remove virus, failed to remove bootstrap GNU. Now it's going to flip the hell out. So now it's going to print error print, and now we're gonna give it like, we're gonna come up with some sort of log looking thing. So we're gonna print this, which says okay, and then, or we'll say warn, like that, warn, and we're just gonna copy this, like, and we'll change a few of them to okay, like that. And I'll do this, so like that'll, there we go, okay. So I'm gonna do this kind of stuff that says like virus root C exe, like that, not found. Virus root f exe, not found, like that. So then what it's going to do is it's going to say okay, found virus root h exe. Then it's going to say failed to remove, and then we'll just copy this. Warn virus clone created, virus cloning stopped, and then we're going to say virus cloning resumed. Okay, so after every 2 of these, I'm going to put a sleep for 2. Sleep. Well, before every okay, I'm going to put a sleep for 2, just so they get their hopes up. And then you get the idea. You could do this over and over again. And then we're going to do this. We're going to say print failed to remove There we go. Hi, how are you doing, sister of SJ Gaming? What's going on? Okay, so right now, here's what it says. It says virus detected, press any key to remove, preparing to remove virus, failed to remove bootstrap GNU. So this is all just random stuff that I made up. Like it's not real. It doesn't have anything that's going to break your computer. Or, hey, we have 4 people on the stream. How are you guys doing? We can all talk in the chat if you come over here. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to find out how to Hold on, color of this. So here's what I got to do now. Okay, so that's red. And here's what I got to do. Okay. So now I pick this. I gotta get this stuff. Okay, so now I change the colors of this stuff. So the first stuff I'm going to keep as white. The error messages I'm going to print like this. Like this. Like that. And like that. Boom. Boom. Like that. Okay, cool. So now, the next thing I'm going to do is grab this new line and throw this at the end as well. Like that. Oh. And this should, if it works, this should change the color of the output. So let's test it and see what it does so far. Let's just run this. So right now it says no. They did at a while back, but now they're feeling a little better now. There we go. So do you see what that does? So this one changes the okay, so it's doing all this crazy stuff. Now I gotta fix red. So 13140, 13140, like this. So 13140, like that. Let's see if this works. And then I can actually get rid of these new lines like this. I don't need them. There we go. So let's do this. So you hit enter. Preparing to remove virus files, remove reset. Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. So here's what I can do now. After the first one, the warn thing is not found, I gotta put this like this, this like this. I'm gonna change this to enter, and then I'm gonna change. Where's the regular one that I haven't? Okay, there's one that's 32, and I gotta change that to 31. But then I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna put it in front of the OKs as well, like this, and change it to 32. So do that here, like this. And then instead of saying shutting down, I'm going to say retrying. Take this whole thing, tab it forward, and put it in def virus. Get rid of this. Who retracted all their messages? What's going on? Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so now we're almost done. What's going to happen now is I am going to try my damnedest to make this fake virus look good. I'm trying to figure out right now. Let me just bring up the recently closed window that I just had up. This one. There we go. Because I'm trying to learn how to 130, 140 M, and then these ones are M. So that works. Text color, background color, black should be 40. But for some reason it's doing white as 40. 1 is bold, but I don't really want 1. I just want cop. Okay, so that's probably why it's doing negative. Actually, you know what? It looks good. Let's keep it like this. And so this is what we're going to do. At the end of this, we're going to say like that. And then down here, we're going to write perfect. There we go. So now, here it is, your virus. Have I ever tricked someone with it? Okay, you tell me right now if you think that this would trick you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open this in Explorer. I'm going to make this small, and I'm going to grab virus main, and I'm going to click it, right? Tell me if you think that this would trick you if this popped up. Here we go. Okay, so it says virus detected. Press enter to remove, and then you hit it, and it says preparing to remove virus. Failed to remove Bootstrap GNU. And then there we go. Look at this. So it's doing some weird stuff. And that's really weird. That looks cool. And you know what? I bet we could make it even better if instead of if here we said false. And then here we said true. So we'll say F, and we'll say if not F, then do all this stuff. And we'll say else, do all this stuff again. This whole thing, except we take off this. So there we go. So now what happens is if I run this, show in Explorer, virus. So here's what it does. You hit enter, and it says all this stuff. And then there you go. So can you imagine seeing this on your computer? You would be probably pretty concerned. I am not on spring break right now. I actually have class. Like I had class earlier today. So no, I'm not. But yeah, so this would scare me if it was on my computer, and I didn't know who made it, but because I know who made it, and also because I know how to look at the code of a file that's running like this. If you ever want to know how to kind of like get your way out of this, you can actually fix this problem by doing this. First thing you do is look at the top of the file that's running. It'll tell you where the file is coming from. After that, you go to that location where the file is, and you read the code. And if you read the code, you can see if it's harmful or not. That's how I usually do it. So I'm going to get rid of this, bring this back up. And I think that's going to be it for today. I think I'm going to end the stream on this note. I hope you guys who are just watching enjoyed yourselves. There's 4 people on right now. I hope you guys all had a really good time. I know that it was pretty slow at parts. I'm still learning how to do these streams, so I'm working on it, but we'll see how it looks in the next one. Just remember that I'm actually doing a giveaway in my next video. Not in my next video, sorry, in my 4-year anniversary video, which is coming out in like a week or so, maybe a little less. I have synthetic programming's been around for 4 years, and so we're gonna do a giveaway for that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.